guys. Sorry. I don't know what is going on with my computer these days. I have been having so many issues with this brand new update I put on my Mac, and I am not compatible with my streaming systems. So I'm going to have to find a new program that works better with Catalina on my Mac OS. So I apologize for that. I've been fighting with it all afternoon. So, I think we talked about this earlier this week, but Derick Dillard on Twitter said that he was planning a tell-all. So he's in his second year of law school, you guys. Second year. And he plans to write a tell-all all about his life in Duggarland. So that means that Derick is going to write about his life with Jim Bob, or maybe his detest and hatred, who knows. And Jill, she just sort of plugs her way along. She's supporting him on Instagram. She's putting her cookbook stuff out or pretending like she's a cook. She's homeschooling her kids. She's doing mom life. And Derick is doing law school life. And as they're prepping for the holiday season, it appears as though the family is moving further and further and further away from the Duggars. So we know that Jim Bob and Michelle denied that there was any sort of ongoing investigation, but we also know that the Department of Homeland Security confirmed with KNWA in Arkansas that they had raided a business related to Josh Duggar. They said that the raid was related to an ongoing criminal investigation. At this time, no arrests have been made. However, the car lot that they raided related to Josh Duggar has been basically shut down. All the cars are off the lot, everything's going on. And more of the adult Duggars seem to be kind of separating themselves from what's going on at the fray of the home at Duggarland, at the Duggar compound is what I call it. So on Instagram, we have Jill and Derick basically ignoring the fact that there's stuff going on with their parents in, Toddy Town, 7,000 square foot house that has the worst aesthetic look I've ever seen in a home, but that's just me. And we have them going on here saying they're going to get ready for Christmas. Now, the Duggars were getting ready for Christmas, and the Dillards are getting ready for Christmas. Interestingly, as I was spending some time on Derick Dillard's Instagram, I noticed he has 0 photos of Jim Bob and Michelle. Is that a coincidence? I think not. All right, so they have a blog, Jill and Derick, where they have famously done things like being joyfully available, talking about being a good husband and a good wife, centered in Christ, all that kind of stuff. But recently they shared, oh man. These are all from my other stream. This is so annoying. Sorry, you guys. On Instagram, I've been having technical difficulties, as I told you. They're sharing the Yuletide here. And they are getting ready and spending time with Derick's mom, which is interesting. So, here are the photos. There are the kids getting ready. There's the house decorated, all ready for Christmas. There they are outside the house. There's their wreath. There they are with the kids outside the house. And this is interesting. Over the weekend, they actually saw, they went to a Christmas parade at a Methodist church chili dinner with Derick's mom, Kathy. And they're at the parade with the kids. He's got his jacket on. You can see the kids sitting out there. There they are right outside the parade. But I noticed something interesting. On their Instagrams, they share photos of Kathy a lot. They spent Thanksgiving with Kathy. Now they're getting ready to celebrate Christmas with Kathy. Derick only has one sibling, so he has a brother. And Kathy is actually a little bit different because she worked full time. She actually has a master's degree. She wears pants. Derick actually went to secular school. He went to secular college. He is now in law school. So are they started like separating themselves from the Duggars, spending more time with Kathy? Now, Kathy is still, for all intents and purposes, a very devout Christian, but it appears as though maybe a little bit more progressive than the Duggars. And Jill and Derick literally never post photos with the Duggar family. They're rarely at Duggar events. They are not filming for the show. They said that they aren't going to come back onto the show. Derick has been bitching on Twitter about how Jim Bob never paid him and that TLC made shady deals between them. So I'm just like, he's going to write a tell-all and he's in law school. So that has some fans thinking, well, is he going to law school because he wants to sue Jim Bob? It's interesting, right? Like, being that he is heavily in the fundamental world, a lot of times they don't want anything to do with the secular world. So the fact that he's going to law school and understanding the legal aspects of the world that's around us, the worldly world, is interesting. And then in between law school, he's teasing on on Twitter that he's going to write a tell-all. And I'm starting to really think that this shunning or this divide with Jill and Derick and the Duggars is legit. I mean, the Duggars literally never post photos with them, ever. The last time Jill was like ran into her mom was, I think, at a consignment shop. I'm not even lying. A consignment shop. She ran into her mom and took a photo with her mom. Now, there has been like, I'm sure she hangs out and sees them, but I just think there's something going on here. I think some of these kids are starting to separate themselves. Even Michelle, in her return to Counting On, has been sort of like obvious that she doesn't have much of a relationship with some of these kids because she couldn't even remember which girls were pregnant. At one point, she said it's hard to keep track of who's pregnant. She shared a photo on Instagram a couple weeks ago or like last month, of all of the women that were pregnant, which included a photo that had Joy Anna, who we all know had a miscarriage at 20 weeks. And I'm like dumbfounded here in relation to, like, she shares this photo. She's already passed away. Like, that baby that was in there is gone. She's got Abby there. She's got Jessa there. All of her daughters are there. I mean, obviously it was a maternity shot and it was with the grandma, but it makes me start to wonder, like, does Michelle not even have a relationship with them at this time? I'm very confused. Then we have Jed, who I want to show you this. Jed's pretending like he has no relationship with, or that he's pretending, he's really digging into this idea that he has no connection to the Duggar compound these days because, you know, Jed is now running for office. He wants to actually, you know, become a congressperson in the state of Arkansas. And he was popping over at the Duggar house over the weekend saying, having fun with my nieces and nephews since a lot of us don't live at the big house anymore. It's always a blast when we can get together there. Why does he always have to keep pointing out that he doesn't live there? He said, when they asked him about the investigation, he was like, I don't know, I don't live there. And now he's like at his house and he's like, it's really fun to see my nieces and nephews now that I don't live here. Like, I feel like he's going out of his way to remind people that he does not live at this house. And then poor suffering Jana is still living there at 29 years old. And I know she's, you know, doing her own thing, doesn't, you know, she's making her own way. She's not courting. And she's the one that's like sharing all the decorations she's doing. So finishing up the last of the Christmas decorating. It's the most wonderful time of year. So she decorates for them. And then, you know, she's still living there. She's 29 years old. She's not married. She hasn't courted. She's sharing a bedroom with her like 9-year-old sisters. It's kind of crazy, to be honest. A lot of people speculate that maybe Jana doesn't want to be a mother. Maybe she's sick of it all because she's had to raise her sisters. Maybe she doesn't like men. There's been so many different reasons for why she hasn't found a suitor, and every single person is obsessed with why she doesn't have a boyfriend. All of the fundies are obsessed with why she isn't courting right now. So you've got Jana, who's still living there. You've got Jed saying, I don't live here anymore. You've got Jill being like, I'm going to go hang out at Derick's house with his mom. Jessa and Ben have been spending more time with Ben's family. So I'm starting, and like Joy and Austin traveled for Thanksgiving. It's just, I don't know. It's interesting. So this is where we're at with what's going on in Duggarland. I wish I had more news about the investigation with federal investigations. We will not know anything until there is a indictment or an arrest. So until either one of those things happen, I will keep you posted on anything that I hear. Are you surprised that the Duggars they're not spending the holidays with them? Are you surprised that there's become more and more sort of like people really starting to distance themselves more from the family and going out of their way almost to not be with the family? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and I will be back later. Bye, guys.